You told me then that the Ace broadcaster, when we talk about Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat, will definitely emerge as the gubernatorial candidate of the party. I asked many questions, of which you said you are very certain and definite, and you are confident that Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat will emerge as the gubernatorial candidate, the ticket bearer for the party in your state. January 17, if I'm not mistaken, he declared his intention, right? And
Yes.
then he painted everywhere with color yellow. Now, fast forward, we had two other people who showed interest in contesting for the same seat. Let me start by asking this before we move into that. Is there a crisis in Accord as a party?
Well, thank you very much. Let me first of all correct the notion that I said Oriyomi Hamzat is, or he was going to be, our candidate. What I said that day was the fact that he was the only aspirant then. But when the time is right, when we go to the bridge, we'll cross it. So now we are at the bridge now, and we have
we've
crossed it successfully. And I can tell you that Oriyomi Hamzat is our flag bearer come 2027. And back to your question, is there any crisis in Oyo State Accord? There's no crisis whatsoever.
Are you certain?
I'm very certain because we are in one accord.
Are you sure?
Yeah, on my own part, and because as a party, we are tied to national body. And where the national body is where I am.
Okay.
I maintain the stand of the national body of Accord. So now if there's no crisis in national body, there's no crisis in what? In Oyo State as well. So that's my own stand and that's my own notion on this issue. There's no crisis whatsoever.
Okay, you said there's no crisis or whatsoever in Accord or your state.
Yes.
Okay, but primary election was conducted in the party. Before that day, we had 3 candidates, 3 aspirants. Say, oh, me too, I would love to, to be the flag bearer, the ticket bearer for the party. But the 3 of them, were they, screened?
Well,
I want us to take it so that the listener,
yeah,
the 3 of them, were they screened?
God bless you. I wanted to ask that you're going to give me time to explain
Okay.
comprehensively.
All right. Okay.
So now we had 4 aspirants,
Okay.
but the 3 of them went for screening.
4 aspirants, but 3 went for screening. Okay.
So now, let's lay a background story of everything that transpired in your Accord. In January 17, Oriyomi Hamzat declared his intention, like you already said, and we saw how massive this crowd are. And on that day, ever since that time, Accord executive, we have 19 executive members, and Mama Ajaja, Dr. Mrs. Adebukola Ajaja, the National Secretary of Accord Oyo State. If you are to add to the executive arm of Accord, we can say we are 20 in numbers. Virtually all of us, right from that January 17, we already knew that Oriyomi Hamzat is our gubernatorial candidate.
From January 17.
From January 17. Because anytime we are having discussion and all, Mama and all the executives will tell us that the only, out of all the aspirants, the only person that is a candidate is Oriyomi Hamzat. And we're on that line. We were doing that line. So now, March, sometimes in March, Honorable Olakunle Busari joined Accord. He defected to Accord in March 2026. So on that day, the state treasurer, Honorable Nuruddin, called me and said, PRO, Honorable Olakunle Busari is from your local government. And it won't make any sense if it comes to that your local government and I didn't meet anybody. So you have to go there and mobilize people for him. So I called all other executive, local government executive and other people there, that they should mobilize to welcome Honorable Olakunle Busari. When he got there, he didn't come with his people.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe because he does not have anyone to follow him. He doesn't have any political value. So yeah, when he got there, people asked him that day, "Sir, what are you here for? Are you here for rep or Senate?" He said, "Not yet. That when the time is right, he will tell us." So as he was leaving, they told me that he gave them 1 million naira for the refreshment and no.
Honorable Busari
He gave local government people. He gave them 1 million naira for refreshment and no. So fast forward to May 19, he came, and that happens to be the end of the sales of form for primaries and no.
The closure date.
The closure date. So he came on that day, and he said, although they have been back and forth, 2 days before, 17, I guess, secretary called me and said that there's another person coming because secretary and I were the 2 people in charge of the sales of form.
Okay.
He called me and said that someone is coming to pick a gubernatorial form. I was shocked, like, how? But we said we are no longer selling forms to the. He said, no problem, it's their right. I said, fine, it's their legitimate right to contest. So on the 19th, Honorable Kunle Busari, alias Gudu, came to pick his form. He came with his son on that day, and he picked the form. Immediately he went back to Mama Hotel, Mama Ajaja Hotel. He went back there. He took picture with Mama, and immediately, maybe an hour later, he sent his son to come and submit. I was saying, former CP, he went to Abuja as well to do his own screening on that within the stipulated time.
Okay.
But he could not submit his document properly, so he was disqualified based on that.
Okay.
Then Olakunle Busari, he went to Abuja for his screening through state secretary and state chairman. They took him to Abuja. He did his screening May 22nd, which is outside the stipulated period. Because the screening has ended May 21st.
But he did it the following day.
He went to Abuja the following day, and they screened him out based on that you are not eligible to proceed with the primary.
They screened him out. Are you sure?
Yes, there's a letter to that effect. So they screened me out. And on the day of our primary, before that day, former CP had written to Abuja National Body that he had withdrawn from this race, citing infiltration from, people that have vested interest. He cited it on national dailies. He said it. So then, Honorable Kunle Busari had been disqualified. Now we are not left with only aspirant, which happens to be Oriyomi Hamzat. So at that point in time, we are bound to go for concession.
Okay.
That was why we're the national delegate. Because mind you, the National Working Committee has set up the delegate that oversee the primary election. They signed for Osun State, for example, they sent National Treasurer for Osun State election. They sent National Woman Leader for Osun State election. They sent National Publicity Secretary for Osun State primary election. For your state, they sent Deputy National Secretary. They sent National Financial Secretary.
For your state, they sent Deputy National Secretary.
They sent National Financial Secretary. And they sent DG National Mobilization.
Okay.
To Oyo State for the primaries of Oyo State. So now when they were coming, Iyaja called the Deputy National Secretary because he happened to be the returning officer for the primary. That okay, as a National Secretary, I'm supposed to be the one to welcome you to Oyo State. When you get to Ibadan, kindly come to my hotel. But the man said, that's the Dr. Abdurrahman Danladi Mohammed,
the Deputy National Secretary.
He said, Mama, I can't come to your hotel. Mama said, why? He said, you are also an aspirant. That if I should come to your hotel, your competitors will be like, you have I will not be objective. So let me stay where I am and conduct the primary free and fair. So that was the stand of the deputy national, like who happens to be the returning officer for your state. So we got our primary supposed to hold at Bodija, business school in Bodija. But when we got there, the place was barricaded by thugs. So we had to go back to INEC officials in Ibadan North and ask them for directives. They said that place is not viable for you to hold your primary election. They recommended another place entirely, which
Why?
is
Why
because of the situation on ground that day, because that place was barricaded by thugs.
Who placed the talks there?
We don't know them.
And you didn't find out?
Because we had to, safety of the officials that come that day is very, very important for us, because they are national bodies. The three of them were present that day. We went to our office together, and they recommended Salvation Army Primary School, Ward 3, opposite JM2 police station. That was where we did the consensus primary, because Oriyomi is the only candidate screened and successfully passed to go for primary. Immediately we had done that place, with now Oriyomi and the national delegate, now that the fans and the supporters of Oriyomi are already waiting at the A3 hotel. So we moved from that primary election to A3 hotel to celebrate with his followers. That was what happened throughout the primary election. The national body sent their delegate to oversee the election, and they appointed a returning officer. And the returning officer conducted primary for Oriyomi and Zat. And they have taken the report back to Abuja.
The national
Yes.
sent delegates
Yes.
to conduct election for Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat
For Accord of your state
for
primary.
Accord Oyo State Primary. Who sent the delegate to conduct the same primary for Honorable Busari?
They did kangaroo. I can tell you authoritatively, because the only body that is saddled with responsibility of doing all these things are National Working Committee, NWC of a political party. They had earlier on set up a screening committee, which Mama was part of those committee, National Working Committee that set up screening committee. And
Mama Ajaja was part of the National
Working Committee that had set up a screening committee and electionary committee. So Mama and other National Working Committee had delegated their power to those committees set up purposely for this primary election. So Mama has no right to be there as well. So now, and Mama is also an aspirant. The delegate they sent was supposed to handle our own primary as well.
Do you know the delegates who were present at Busari Gudugudu's primary?
None of the delegates was present. None of the delegates was present. I can tell you. And the party secretary in Oyo State, Honorable Olayinka Dairo, let him come out and tell us who appointed him as returning officer for primary election. You can't be the judge in your own case. I have a letter written to Residential Electoral Commission of Oyo State, direct in Oyo State INEC, telling them the 3 people in charge of primaries in Oyo State, Accord primary. The letter is in my motor now. We have evidences for everything we are saying here. Who appointed Honorable Olayinka Dairo, the state party secretary, to be the returning officer of the primary election?
But as far as a primary election is concerned, if you want to conduct a primary election, is there or was there any, INEC official present at Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat?
Let me tell you, electoral does not say there must be an INEC officials in your primary. However, to satisfy all righteousness, we have INEC. We had INEC in our midst that day. They were the one that gave us directive that we should go and use another event, another venue for our primary. It shows that they were fully involved. However, they don't have to be in your primary. All you need to do is just carry them along. They will be an observer for everything we do. If you don't do it right, That is when rather they can now, come and say, hey, you don't do it well, you don't do it. So we have notified them and we invited them over. They were part of the process. Also, we did everything in line with the Electoral Act and our party constitution. So let them come out. I'm saying it live and direct. Let them come out and tell us which National Working Committee set up their own electoral committee that they are priding themselves as the electoral returning officer for your state that called primary.
The certificate of return given to Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat, who signed it?
Now there's a misconception about that because our media is very porous and people don't know how to sieve information. What was presented to Oriyomi Hamzat? It was certificate of clearance.
Certificate of clearance?
Not certificate of return.
But what was presented to Honorable Busari state that is certificate of return?
On that day, we will get to that point though. On that day, Oriyomi was given certificate of clearance, while Honorable Busari was given party membership card. He was never issued any certificate, official certificate. He was never issued.
On that day?
On that day. Fine. Then the certificate of clearance on the part of Oriyomi was that, now, for instance, I come to your radio station, I need a job. I come for interview. You interview me. On that spot, I will not know the feedback or your response or your reaction to my performance. You say, go, we'll call you back. So now, the three of them went for screening in Abuja, and they told them, you have done your screening, fine, we will communicate with you. The evidence of communication, that truly you've passed your screening, that was why they issued certificate of clearance to Oriyomi, so that it now means that you are now cleared to go for primary. That was why they gave him certificate of clearance. Now let's come back to the issue of a certificate of return. There are three bodies that are involved when it comes to the issue of a certificate of return. National Working Committee of the party. The second one is that the committee constituted to oversee the primary election of that party. That's the second one. The third part is that the person authorized by the party constitution to oversee the affairs of the primary. Those are the three grants. It was never written that the state executive or state arms of a party will be the one issuing certificate of return. What was presented to Gudu, it was presented live today on a particular radio station. And when you look at it, it's just as if they are shooting themselves in the leg. When you look at that certificate critically, it is written National Secretariat. They put the National Secretariat of Accord. They put the address there. While the party state chairman, the state party chairman, append the signature. The party state secretary append the signature. So now, who has the legal, grant to sign, letterhead from national headquarters? So it's overreaching. So whatever they are doing now, we are going back to Abuja. Hey, everybody, there's party constitution. They are violating the party constitution. The national secretariat, once the particular document carries national address, you are addressing it as a national body. Anybody that will append the signature must be national officer, not the state officer. So now, whatever they are doing now, they are just parading themselves as though they have a grant. On the part of Oriyomi Hamzat is going back to Abuja.
To do what?
To go and collect his certificate of return.
Then where did he get his own certificate?
It is party state chairman and state secretary. They issued it.
So you are saying it should be from the national
that is how it is. It's not as if I'm saying it. That is normal process. That is normal procedure. You have to go back to Abuja. They will issue your certificate of return to you. Not like you just sit down in the state and one secretary will be saying that he has the right. Who made him the returning officer? That's the critical question. Another thing is this. I saw a figure flying around.
Before we get to that figure, because I'm still going there, report states that INEC officials were present at Honorable Busari primary election, and then they were not present at your own, at Alhaji Yomi Hamzat.
Like I said earlier, INEC was there on our own part.
How?
I can call the name, Mr. Bolanrewa from Ibadan North. He was there. That's for fact. You should go and check it. You get my point. Then we are talking about INEC is in another place. I told you earlier that INEC must serve as observers. Do you get? So now it is the onus is on the national body to go and submit the names of successful candidates. The state they don't even have the right. They don't have the legal grant to go and submit the names of a successful candidate. Do you get my point? Now, our party constitution states that the national chairman is the constant signatory to the document being passed to INEC, or any other member of National Working Committee. So now, the ball is in the national body to decide which one is authentic. Are you not telling me that the one that is sent delegates for, they will not say it's not authentic, than the one that no delegate was there? The answer is very clear to the people listening to us. So whatever they are saying now, they are just playing to Gary. They are just playing to Gary. So when I was saying that the point is they declare Honorable Busari as the numbers gathered, I was just laughing.
Mama Jaja said Fatai Owosheni did not step down, was not disqualified.
Okay, then
and you claim that he was disqualified. Mama Jaja said that Honorable Busari also has the right to contest the primary, and you said he did not meet the deadline.
Yeah.
So, are you giving us this fact based on the fact that your principal is also, involved?
Okay, let me tell you something. When I said that, the people at home must know how to separate fact from propaganda. Now, there is internal process. There's due process and there is procedures when a party wants to conduct primary election. Like I said, Mama is part of National Working Committee.
So was she not aware about everything that is going on?
Now, that's where I'm going. So now, within that National Working Committee, they set up screening committee, which the national treasurer of our party is the chairman of the screening committee, which Honorable Abdurrahman Danladi Mamel that came to Oyo State is the secretary of that screening committee. I will send you that document before I leave. So now, Mama has nothing to do with the screening or the result of the screening, because every member of National Working Committee are delegated their power to those committees being set up. It is now for the that screening committee to decide. They did that. They make reports. The national treasurer appends his signature, the chairman of the screening committee. The secretary to the screening committee appends his own signature as well. It shows that what Mama is saying that they are not disqualified. Now, Fatai Owosheni, he publicizes it. He publishes it on the dailies. I don't want to mention the newspaper so as not to be like I'm advertising for them. So he publicizes it. Everybody knows it. Everybody has it. So for her to say they are not disqualified, they don't. No. She's aware of everything. Now, back to the point I was making. They were rolling out some figures. The Fatai, he has this thing. Kule Busari, he has certain numbers. Oyema has this thing. Let me ask them. The electoral says that as a political party, you must register your members digitally, right? So now, the digital registration that I got from the national body Because you know they are. I don't want to use certain words. As a vibrant party secretary, that
I'm
I claim to be.
still on that figures.
Okay.
I want you to take everything
Okay.
because let's take it one
Okay.
after the other.
No problem.
Now, as far as the figures, you know, rolled out is concerned, there are some people, they will tell you that I belong to Accord, but they were not registered members. Even though during the election, the general election, I will vote for this party, but they are not registered members. Are they eligible to vote?
Well, they are not eligible. That's why I say that electoral act has provided that all members must be registered digitally. So if you are not captured digitally, you cannot claim that you have the right to vote. Merely you are done with the registration, you'll be able to print out your membership card, and that will be the sign that okay, truly you belong to this party. Gone are those days where we use a physical card, those that you write your name and stuff like that. So now, I was expecting a self-acclaimed vibrant party secretary to know his party membership strength. So now, if truly they want to cook up a kangaroo election, they should have been way smarter than that. Because the membership strength of Accord, because I got it from the national body, because I've been in touch with national body right from time. So it was given to me 15,355. That is our total strength in Oyo State. Adibin is not registered digitally. We have more than that. So now by the time you look at the numbers gotten from the kangaroo election, you can say that 60,000 and 65 in total. So now let us subtract 15,355 minus 60,000 and 65. You could see the margin. Where are those people? Were they our members? Or are they still our members? So it shows that you have to be, a member of a court party before you can partake in primary election. So whatever they did there, they shot themselves in the leg, like I said earlier. So please, the general public should discard whatever they are claiming. It's null and void ab initio.
Let me ask you this. 15,355 total registered members in Accord Oyo State. They were those who were eligible
to vote.
vote.
If at all we were going for direct primary.
But what happened? What happened then? That was not direct primaries, right? It was a consensus.
We didn't do direct primary. It was consensus. Because Olusola was the only aspirant at that point. One withdrew, the other one disqualified. So the point is that go and, make a consensus candidate for Olusola. That was it.
Now let me ask you, how many votes did Olusola Hamzat garner?
Because when you're talking about consensus candidate, you don't need to count.
I think maybe you will shoot yourself in the leg by that question. Okay, now let's take it back to this place. Other, aspirants, were they not aware of the consensus candidates or candidacy or consensus primary or whatever? Were they not? And then, because if they knew, why the need to conduct primary then?
Let me put this straight. Right from time, Accord has never conducted direct primary. Accord only do what we call affirmation.
Okay.
So just call you. Okay, now you have agreed to use you to present you as our flag bearer. Then we'll affirm you. That has been the normal
thing that
Accord has been doing. So now if you want to do direct primary, let state secretary tell us where they communicated that there will be direct primary. It was never there was no communique to that effect that there was going to be direct primary. So they knew all along that it was going to be a consensus.
They knew?
They knew.
But if you claim that they knew. If that should be the truth, then why do they have to release figures?
Because at that point in time, they've played into our hands. I mean, at the national as well. In the hands of the national, because they supposed to. They have actually told them, this is our stand. And the secretary confirmed that they communicated to Kunle Busari that he has been disqualified.
Who?
The state secretary Olayinka, he did interview on a particular radio station, on television station.
Okay, he communicated with Kunle Busari
that the national chairman communicated to Busari, on Busari, that he had been disqualified. So now, they knew the stand of the national body, that we were going for consensus candidate. But to create some confusion and ulabalu within our people, so they had to scheme what we call direct primary. And let us ask them. I was at the Southwest, Ward 4, on that said date, where the word that the Honorable Kunle Busari voted. I was there. I was watching. He was there with the 3 NSCD's personnel. No INEC was present in that ward. What he did was that they were calling Fatah Hosseini absent. Oriyomi absent. Olagole Busari, hey, that was what they did. So it shows that they were just playing hanky-panky. I asked them, tell me one single thing that you think all of us, the executive, we should drop Oriyomi for Honorable Kunle Busari.
You can't?
They could not. They could not present one fact that this is why we are presenting. We want you people to support Honorable Kunle Busari over Oriyomi Hamzat. We have seen Oriyomi. We've seen what he's capable of doing. We see his appealing and his connection with the grassroots. We've seen everything like that.
Are you saying other candidates lost because they did not have grassroots mobilization?
Is it well, it is very, very crystal clear to everyone out there that none of them, as far as Oyo State is concerned, none of them has the political value of Oriyomi Hamzat. Now, in Oyo State, there's no single candidate under now defunct PDP that can I mean, they are now metamorphosed into APL. None of them can singularly put his picture or a picture on the poster without attaching the Governor Seyi Makinde on that poster. Same thing with APC. They cannot do any poster without attaching the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu picture. No single aspirant in Oyo State can fly a court without having poster of Oriyomi Hamzat.
Because he's the only one that they know.
Oriyomi
right?
Hamzat,
Is that what you want to claim?
No. Oriyomi Hamzat is the poster boy of Accord. We know how Accord was, and we know how the strength of Accord now. Without Oriyomi, there's
no Accord.
There will be Accord, but people don't reckon with them. Because there's a particular notion, there's a particular stigma that associated with Accord. It is party for negotiation. But with the entrance of Oriyomi Hamzat into Accord, the whole narrative changed. And what Oriyomi stands for is what we are witnessing now. Oriyomi Hamzat is saying that my party that I will contest under cannot be for negotiation. He said it immediately after his victory. He's standing his ground that if at all I want to contest, they must not, use my party for negotiation. And whatever you see happening in Accord now, if we don't tackle it head on now as we are tackling it now, it's just as if we are delaying the danger. Because if we use it as let's just go ahead with the primaries and then Oriyomi emerge and then there's no issue whatever. A week to election, they would do what they did to Adelabu, Chief Adelabu.
What did they do to him?
For instance, in 2023, they gave him the ticket of the gubernatorial ticket. And a lot of press statements, national dailies and all, vowing that is Chief Adelabu had the support of the executive of your state. You know, he's the next governor, and here and there. You know what they did is that a week to election, Mama Ajaja, secretary, the state chairman, another executive at that point, at that time, they did a press conference without the knowledge of the national bodies that they are aligning with the current administration. So now we've seen the writings on the wall. Because Mama is currently the chairman of Advisory Council of Governor Seyi Makinde. So it is not an allegation. It is a known fact.
She's what?
She's serving under Governor Seyi Makinde.
Presently.
Presently.
As what?
As Advisory Council to Seyi Makinde, Governor Seyi Makinde. The same Honorable Olakule Gudugudu. He's a contractor to the state government. So now, people can connect the dots.
Are we saying because they work with the present governor now, or the present government, or the present administration now, we should disqualify them?
We are not saying that, but the general public, I want to roll out this fact for the general public to connect the dots. On the live program today,
but it's once been said that your principal too was once aligned with Governor Seyi Makinde.
But before he joined political race, when last did you see Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat with Governor Seyi Makinde?
Then what went wrong between the two of them?
Nothing went wrong. It was just that I want to contest as well. So
and then Seyi Makinde did not want him to.
No. There's a time for apprenticeship. If I come to you that I want to learn a job, and I've learned it for 2 years, I should do my freedom. That's what we do in the Yoruba. I don't know whether you do that in another place.
Was that what happened between Seyi Makinde and Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat?
Nothing happened. It's just that he wants to stand on his own. And he doesn't want to be like, okay, because if he had not come out to stand on his own, people will not take him serious. Something happened today on the live program that we watched. The said candidate, the purported candidate of theirs, I mean the secretary and the state chairman and the Mama Jaja, he was on the live program praising the current administration and hoping.
That was for Mama Jaja? No, okay.
The Kule Busari,
okay.
praising the current administration and hoping for 3.0 as their claim. On the other hand, they were both of them were on live, Mama Jaja and Kule Busari. On the other hand, Mama was badmouthing, demarketing Oriyomi Hamzat. So I want people of Oyo State to connect the dots. So I won't say more than that.
Were you saying that they were sent to Accord? They were, plotted or planted into Accord?
Well, like I want see. I'm not actually discussing with you.
Yes.
Before at home.
Exactly.
Because you are a journalist and you must balance your story. It's that's the professional journalism. You know that. What I'm saying is this. Let them, for us to be very sure, the general public, what on what ground are you backing Kule Busari over Oriyomi Hamzat? People want to know. That's a fundamental question. On what ground? Okay, now if you want me to join or to believe in your cause, you must be able to convince me. What has he done in the party? There's no single party member that knows Busari prior to primary election.
Okay, because of our time, because we have like 2-3 minutes to spend. Now, what do you think will definitely happen to Accord as a party? All these aggrieved candidates of yours, don't you think it's a minus?
Let me tell you something. We don't have aggrieved candidates.
So what will happen to Oriyomi Hamzat and what will happen to Gudugudu?
See, Oriyomi Hamzat has emerged as a candidate of Accord.
But Gudugudu said he has emerged as a candidate as well.
Gudugudu will go back to where he comes from.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. He defected from the PDP then. I don't know whether he's going back to the APM or whatever. What have you? I don't know.
So you just affirmed now that it was planted to.
I don't know.
Accord.
I told you that he defected from the PDP.
No, yeah, you said it, but you said it's pressing the present administration.
That's the thing. It's left for the state general public in Oyo State to what?
Has this present administration be doing bad?
Well,
I'm asking you.
Well, see, they are doing well, but they can do better.
Okay, you just affirm that. You just
So that's the fact. What we are saying is that there's no single aspirant or members of our court that is agreed. All of us, including the executive, 90% of people in our court, we are rooting for Olusola that we know he is the one capable of, driving our court to the next level. So I just want to urge the public to remain patient and calm. There's no problem, no cause for alarm. Whatever you see now, they will call us, our family house will call us in Abuja. They will discuss it like brothers and sisters do resolve their misunderstanding. And we'll come back to be one accord. There's no problem whatsoever.
Okay.
It's just misunderstanding, not crisis.
Okay, thanks to you, Honorable Badru Idris Oriyomi.
It's a pleasure being here, and I will be glad to be here any other time.
Exactly, because this conversation never ends.